In section 5.5, we're going to continue looking at writing equations of lines, except in this particular section, we're going to focus on writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, and so a couple of different things. Recall that parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines intersect and form a right angle. Okay, so in other words, over here on the left-hand side, M and N would be perpendicular if those intersect to form a right angle. And the key thing really is that the slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. Okay, so again, slopes of parallel lines are the same. Slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. So, which of the following lines are parallel or perpendicular? Hint, solve for y. In other words, rewrite them all in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, because in order to determine whether lines are parallel or perpendicular, we need to know their slopes. So line A is already done for us. Slope is 2. Line B, I have to subtract 2x. And so I get 4y equals negative 2x plus 3. Divide every single term by 4. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3/4. So my slope here is negative 1/2. Okay, and then line C, again, subtract 4x. And so I get negative 2y equals negative 4x plus 5. Divide every single term by the negative 2. And so y equals 2x plus negative 5 over 2, or minus 5 over 2. And so the slope here is 2. Okay, so I have slope is 2, slope is negative 1/2, slope is 2. Okay, so the parallel lines are clearly going to be lines A and C. That's what we use for parallel right there, those two little slanted lines. So A is parallel to C. And we also know here, based on the fact that this is positive 2, this is negative 1 over 2, so they're opposites. One's positive, one's negative, and they are reciprocals of each other. Therefore, line B is perpendicular to C. And by the same argument, we can say that B is also perpendicular to A. Okay, so again, that's what we're looking at. Okay, so if you're asked to determine whether lines are parallel or perpendicular, find their slopes and compare them. Okay, so number 2 here, again, I would pause the video and work through it on your own and see where you're at. So line A, slope is 1/3. Line B, subtract 12x. You get 4y equals negative 12x plus 3. Divide every term by positive 4. So y equals negative 3x plus 3/4. So your slope here is negative 3. And line C, divide every single term by 3. I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. So y equals negative 3x plus 5 over 3. And your slope here is negative 3. So when I compare my slopes, again, I notice lines B and C have the same slope, therefore they are parallel. So B is parallel to C. And again, just like the last example, this is positive 1/3, this is negative 3. So they are opposites. One's positive, one's negative. They're both reciprocals. So line A is perpendicular to B, and line A is also perpendicular to line C. It says write an equation for the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the given line. Okay, so understand process here now. So write the equation. It doesn't say what form, so most of the time we're going to use y equals mx plus b. Now by me telling you it's parallel to this line, you know that means that those two lines have the same slope. So the slope of the line they give you is positive 2. Therefore, you know the slope of your line is positive 2. So you know you have y equals 2x plus b. I give you an x and a y. Plug those guys in. So 9 equals 2 times 1 plus b. 9 equals 2 plus b. Subtract 2 from both sides. So your y-intercept is 7. Okay, and so the final equation, y equals, we found our slope to be 2 and our y-intercept to be 7. So that's how you're going to use parallel perpendicular lines, right? So part B says, write the equation of the line that passes through the point 2,5 and is parallel to this line. I have to do a little bit of legwork here because I need to know the slope of this line. So I have to get y by itself, write it in y equals mx plus b form. So y equals x plus 8. So parallel means the slope of this line here is 1, so the slope of our line is 1. So I know this much. I know we have y equals mx plus b. Again, I give you x and y. plug them in. 5 equals 1 times 2 plus b, so 5 equals 2 plus b. I got to get my y-intercept, so my y-intercept here is positive 3. And so my final equation is y equals 1x plus 3. Find your slope, find your y-intercept. Okay, and in these examples, your slope is coming from whether or not the line is parallel or perpendicular. Part C, go ahead and do on your own. Again, it's just another parallel equation, so no different than what we've been doing. Okay, example 4 says write an equation for the line that passes through the given point and is perpendicular. Okay, so again, what's the line that they give me? It's perpendicular to this line. Well, the slope here is positive 2, so the slope of our line, since it's perpendicular, is negative. It's got to be opposite, and then the reciprocal of 2 over 1 is 1 over 2. Okay, so now I know my equation is y equals negative 1/2 x plus b, and now it's no different than what we've been doing. I gave you an x and a y, use them. 3 equals negative 1/2 x, so negative 1/2 times 1 plus b. 3 equals negative 1/2 plus b. Add your half to both sides, so your b equals 3.5. Okay, you can write that as a fraction, mixed number, it doesn't matter, whatever you want. Okay, and so your final equation, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3.5. So same idea, except we're working with perpendicular now. Part B, same concept, okay, except I have to rearrange this thing, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So I get 8y equals negative 2x plus 3. Divide every single term in the problem by 8. So y equals negative 1/4 x plus 3 over 8. Here's the slope of the line they gave me. So the slope of my line, since it's perpendicular, is the opposite. So mine's positive, and then the reciprocal of 1 over 4 is 4 over 1, which is just 4. So our line is y equals 4x plus b. Same deal here. I give you an x and a y. All right, so plug them in. 6 equals 4 times negative 2 plus b. So it's 6 equals negative 8 plus b. Add your 8 to both sides, and that tells you that your y-intercept is positive 14. So again, I know my y-intercept, I know my slope, therefore my equation has to be y equals 4x plus 14. All right. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys work through part C here on your own. No different than the previous two examples we've been doing. Try it. If you're not sure if you did it correctly, ask in class and we'll go over it. Okay, so that's really all we're looking at here in section 5 is still writing equations, but now instead of me telling you the slope, or instead of me giving you 2 points to find the slope, you have to know what it means for two lines to be parallel or to be perpendicular. You'll use that to find your slope, and then it's no different than what we've been doing for the first 4 sections of this chapter. As always, any questions or concerns you might have, bring them to class and we will resolve those things.